Okay. So is there like a physiological change in state of like even like the alveoli, like the actual the pockets that pull in air, like kind of that intermix between in the bloodstream, or is it more of like the intercostal stretching so your total lungs can expand? All of the above. What's your philosophy on it?
Both of those, but more. So you're also, as well as what you mentioned, stretching the diaphragm, the muscle that controls abdominal breathing and separates the lungs and the heart from the visceral organs. Increasing the flexibility of that allows you to have more breath and accommodate more negative pressure in a dive. Increasing the flexibility of the rigid airways themselves, your trachea and bronchi, which are held open by cartilage, but the whole system can become flexible so that you can again accommodate that vacuum pressure that you're going to encounter in a deep free dive. Um, yeah, so that's most of it, and then there's also the physiological reflexes involved with the blood shift, which is where blood is pooled inside the lungs, and specifically inside the capillaries that wrap around the alveoli. So those capillaries engorge with blood during a deep free dive, and that compensates for some of the loss of volume of the lungs. But it also means that your blood is conserved inside your core and pulled away from your periphery, and your body works because of that more anaerobically. Um, and because your muscles are working anaerobically, you conserve oxygen for the key organs, the brain, the heart, and the lungs, which cannot survive without oxygen.
Mm. So it sounds like the body is just becoming more efficient in utilizing the oxygen. I mean, number one, pulling in more, but even becoming more efficient with each molecule of oxygen.
Yes, the two kind of main factors, I guess, for freediving are A, to try and store more oxygen, and um, conversely to what you'd expect, we try and store it more in the tissues than the lungs, because if you have huge, big lungs, then you're very buoyant on the surface and you have to use a lot of energy to get down. Whereas if you have a very high concentration of hemoglobin in your blood or myoglobin in your muscles, both of which store oxygen, then that's incompressible tissue, and it doesn't contribute to your buoyancy at all.
Mm.
So, firstly, storing more oxygen, and secondly, being more efficient with the oxygen that you have. So, getting more bang for your buck, if you like, from the oxygen stores by having better technique or yeah, just being more O2 efficient.